Even Ann Coulter in her column this week accepts that there might be an amnesty under certain conditions that guarantee that it's not the precursor to 100, 200 million people coming.
Absolutely. I'm absolutely in favor. I mean, I've experienced myself in a much smaller way the dramatic insecurity and difficulty it is to live in a country which you don't have an absolute right to live in. It's unbelievably debilitating and psychologically terrifying for people. And I think there's a huge support, and there is, the polling will tell you, of managing to integrate and keep and make secure the immigrants who've already come here, however they did so. But if you do that while you're also saying, and also, by the way, anybody who wants to come in, please come in. We're going to facilitate this as fast as possible. We're not going to build the wall anymore. We're going to actually, that is the policy. I mean, I've never heard Biden, I've never heard him say, we need to control immigration. Certainly in the last 2 or 3 years, that we have an interest in not letting too many people into the United States.
Right. He's told people don't come now.
Yeah, because we're going to get it later, because we're going to pull the whole thing down later. You can walk in anytime, day or night.
His idea seems to be, with enough immigration judges and enough tents, we can basically take on all comers and process them into the country very quickly. But we're not going to tell them no. We're going to tell, right now, if you apply for asylum, 70% of the people get in. They get in for a court date later, and at the later court date, if they lose their cases. But it doesn't matter because they're in and they never leave.
And because when they lose their cases, if they go to a court and you lose the case, you just walk out and say bye. There's no one in that court case there's no cop in that court case or immigration official says, okay, you failed. We're going to take you now, and we've got you a nice hotel for a bit, and then we're going to put you on a plane. No, that doesn't happen at all. People have they're completely able to walk out of there and never be seen again.
I think that's right. The number of people who actually leave is very low, like 4%. But the number who lose their cases is very high. It's like 80%, and a lot of people don't even show up for the cases.
Yeah, a lot of them do. But let me just nail that statistic. 80%, you say, of the asylum petitions fail. I've just pulled that out of your ass, out of my ass. But something like
it's in the ballpark.
Okay.
I mean, you come to the country. There are two determinations. They make an initial determination of credible fear.
Right.
And if you have a credible fear, and it used to be that 70% of the people passed that test, then they gave you a court date, and in the later court date, it determined, do you actually qualify for asylum? And it was reversed. 70% of people failed that. Only very few people were determined. So there was a mismatch, okay? Trump, if you read Rich Lowry's article that just came out today, had lowered the initial 70% figure so it matched the later figure of 30%. So only 30% of the people actually got in, okay? And Biden is in the process of raising it back up to 70. The problem is, if they let you in initially, as we just discussed, even if you fail that later determination, the final full trial determination, you stay in the country. Mm-hmm. So the initial one is the one that counts. Once you're in, you're in.
Right. Now, that seems to be absolutely clear. I mean, it's not fun to be in and be illegal. I mean, not have any documents. That's the other question. If Biden were to pursue what he wants, which seems to be to facilitate even greater numbers of immigrants into the country, maybe he could also impose or apply E-Verify mandatorily as a mandatory legal requirement for every employer in the country to be forced to verify the people they employ are legally in the country legitimately, right? And that for some reason, I mean, this is again what I can't believe about Republicans or people who actually favor. Why isn't that just the biggest talking point out there?